Now, as it currently stands, shit, wrong screen. This is the current UFC pound for pound rankings. We've got to fix this, all right? Because number 15, Charles Oliveira. I'm not sure about that, right? Then you got 14, Chimaev, 13, Sarukian. We'll keep going. Bilal, Holloway, Alex, Tom, Jack, Magomed, Alex, Volkanovski, Pantoja, DDP, Merab, Islam, and Ilya Topturo. So, we got to get this shit off the screen because honestly, get it off the screen. Okay, because honestly, this is wrong. This is wrong in my opinion. Now, there's a lot that I agree with here. Some of the rankings you're going to see on my list are the same, but this is the real UFC pound for pound ranking. Started with number 15, Kamaru Usman. You can't hate the kid, just hate the player. No, is it? You can't hate the game, You can't hate the game, No, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Look, number 15, Kamaru Usman. In my opinion, this guy should be number 15, right? So you saw Charles Oliveira, he was number 15. I'm sorry, but it's just, I can't, his last win was Michael Chandler. Before that, he was coming off of a loss to Sarukian. Yes, close fight, very impressive. Then before that, it was a win against Dariush. Then he just got flatlined like last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever the fuck that fight happened. So, yeah, I just can't really. I think he's got to get out of the top 15 at this point. And I think Usman, coming off of a win against Buckley, a pretty dominant win. I know it was a bit of a boring fight, but he still won pretty dominantly. He was such a big underdog as well. Before that, he had a very, very razor-close fight. Some would argue that he won this fight against Khamzat Chimaev. And so if Khamzat Chimaev is going to be on the pound-for-pound list and Usman borderline beat this guy, he should at least be number 15, especially coming off of his last win, that being Joaquin Buckley. So, yeah, he should be in the top 15. Sadly, number 14, and I think it is perfect because of who he's married to, but let me... If you know, you know. Movsar Evloev is at number 14. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. He's on a good winning streak. He's being top contenders. I think, look, I don't even have Arman. Spoiler alert, Arman Tsarukyan is not on this list. So he's booted out of here, and Evloev is taking his spot. I just don't think Arman Tsarukyan, coming off of a split against Charles Oliveira, which that one hasn't aged super well, and then just we haven't seen him since. The level of inactivity is insane. Before that, okay, he KO'd Beneil Dariush. Evloev is beating guys like Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, who before that was like beating up on Calvin Kattar. Yeah, he lost to O'Malley, but still, Aljamain Sterling's still a great win. He's on a big winning streak, and I just think it's fair. I think at this point, his activity is not insane or anything. Like, yeah, he's still a little bit, he's fighting kind of once a year. But I still have him over Arman because, bro, Arman Tsarukyan hasn't fought in like a decade at this point. So, number 14, Movsar Evloev. Now, number 13, Khamzat Chimaev. He's going to stay, obviously, on the list. Of course, I have him above Usman. I have him above Evloev just because of the fact that he destroyed Robert Whittaker. Before that, he beat Usman. But he's not much higher than 13 because his level of inactivity is just... I just don't like it. I don't like his level of inactivity. Yes, he's having these super, super dominant wins. Yes, is he though? Because he dominantly beat Whittaker. And then before that, it was that split decision thingy against Usman. Then he dominated Kevin Holland, which is aged pretty well. So, yeah, I think it's fair. But I think it's just fair. I think he should stay on the pound-for-pound list. Number 13 is perfect for Khamzat Chimaev. Now, number 12, Max Blessed Holloway. I know he just lost to Ilya Topuria, but before that, he's coming off of a win against guys like Arnold Allen, against guys like the Korean Zombie. Who does that to Korean Zombie? No, I'm kidding, but Korean Zombie. Then obviously the Gaethje win, right? Those are good wins in my opinion, especially the Justin Gaethje win, where Justin Gaethje, when he beat him, I think Gaethje was on a 2 or 3. It might have been a 2-fight winning streak. That being, I think, Fiziev and Poirier. So Max Holloway, he flatline KO'd Gaethje, and before that, he pretty clearly beat him in a decision. So Max Holloway 100% deserves to be on this pound-for-pound list. Deserves to be on this pound-for-pound list, and in my opinion, above all the other guys, because his activity is pretty good as well. And he was relatively competitive with Ilya, relatively. He was doing well against Ilya, so that's aged pretty well as well. So Max Holloway, number 12. Now, number 11, 9, 11. I'm kidding. I didn't do that on purpose. Belal Muhammad. Yeah, Belal Muhammad. He's going to reach for his backpack. I'm kidding. Belal Muhammad, number 11. He might be angry. Don't reach for your backpack. Belal, look, see, I think number 11 is perfect for Belal because, look, he beat Leon Edwards pretty, I wouldn't say dominantly. I mean, yeah, he comfortably won a decision, but it wasn't like, oh, he just marauded. It wasn't like what Sean Brady did, right? Who I was also considering putting Sean Brady on this list, but the Leon Edwards win is not enough in my opinion, so. But Belal Muhammad is on this list. He beat Sean Brady. He beat Gilbert Burns. He beat like Vicente Luque. Of course, he beat Leon. He was on a really good winning streak. He beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Like, he's got a really, really good resume. So he 100% has to be on this list, in my personal opinion. And I think number 11 is fair. I just think that's fair. Belal should stay on this list. Obviously, he lost pretty dominantly to JDM, though, so he's going to go down a bit, right? Because I think Belal, before the JDM loss, was like, he was at least in the top 10, I think. So now he's down to number 11. It is what it is. Sorry, Belal. Don't get too angry at me now. Number 10, I have Alex Poatan Pereira. I didn't want to put him too low. I don't think he should like be off the list or put him in number 12. No, I think number 10 is fine. Look, he lost to Ankalaev, but it was a bit of a snooze fest. It was a pretty, it was a shit fight. Let's just say how it is. It was a shit fight, and I think, losing to Ankalaev like that, it is what it is. It is what it is. But before that, beat guys like Yuri twice, Khalil, Jamal Hill. Not the best wins, but he also has a win over Adesanya, but he also has a loss over Adesanya, but then he also has a win over Sean Strickland. So it's a bit like, his career has been pretty interesting. Jan Blachowicz as well, he beat. So yeah, 100%. Even though he's coming off of a loss, he still has to remain in the top 15. I was even considering putting him a little bit higher, but I think number 10 is perfect. Number 9, Little Ankalaev. I got Ankalaev at number 9. I'm sorry. People are going to say, no, he should be number 5. Shut the fuck up. He beat Alex Pereira in one of the most snooze fest decisions ever. His best win before Alex Pereira was what? Johnny Walker? Rakic? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't rate Magomed Ankalaev extremely high to where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think Ankalaev should be number... No! Fuck Ankalaev. He wasn't even on the freaking list before he beat Alex. Now he's going to be at least one spot above him, of course. But I'm sorry. It's not... these MMA YouTubers who did pick Ankalaev, they swore that he was going to ragdoll Pereira. That didn't happen. Again, it was a boring fight. It was a boring win. He wasn't like really, whoa, he rocked Pereira one time. So I'm sorry. You're going to be one spot above Alex. I don't care. Cry about it with your mom. Now, number 8, I think we got to put your boy Tom Aspinall. I know he hasn't fought in a while, but I think it's fair because the way he fights, when he does fight, is just out of this world. He flatlines people. When he knocks people out, they don't fucking move, as Jeremy Stevens would say. This guy, he should be, really, the UFC should promote this guy like the British white Mike Tyson, but they don't. It is what it is. But that's how he fights. He just flatlines everybody. He just deads everybody. He should 100% be in the top 10, and I think number 8 is perfect because, like, again, he hasn't fought in a while, and his best win is like Curtis Blades or like Pavlovich, so I'm not going to sit here and say he should be over, DDP or anything. But no, this is fair. Now, number 7, I think JDM. Look, JDM is on a 14 or 13 fight unbeaten streak. He's beaten names like Kevin Holland, which is aged well. He's beaten names like Gilbert Burns. He's beaten names, of course, like Belal Muhammad. And the way he beat Belal Muhammad was so dominant. Belal Muhammad, look, he's on this list. He beat Leon Edwards, but I'm just like that Leon Edwards win does not compare to what JDM did to Belal Muhammad's poor face. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. JDM destroyed Belal Muhammad. I've even seen Belal recently say that, I actually think I won that fight when I watched it back. I already did a video on that. Look, I think JDM 100% should be high up on this list. Destroyed Belal Muhammad. Good winning streak before that. I think it's only fair. I mean, I think he's over Aspinall. I think he's over Ankalaev, man. I really do. If Ankalaev had done what JDM did to Bilal, to Pereira, then yeah, I'd say Ankalaev should be top 5 or whatever. But no, Ankalaev, he beat Pereira via snooze fest, so JDM is over him. Now, number 6, Alex Volkanovski. Volk, I wanted to put you higher, Volk, but like, man, the top 5 is pretty crammed. Like, the top 5 is really, really crammed, and it's got some fucking goats in there, let's just be honest. Number 6 is Volkanovski. I think, like, doing what he's done, you know, being a long reigning champion, going up a weight class, having a very competitive fight with Islam, then going back down to featherweight, beating Yair Rodriguez, then, you know, obviously short notice, you get head kick KO'd, then you come back, then you get knocked out by Ilia Topuria, but then you take like a year off, you come back, and you beat Diego Lopez pretty comfortably and win your belt back, over like, and the whole over 36, 35 curse, whatever it is. He 100% should be right around the top 5. I just can't put him in the top 5 because it is Diego Lopez. Like, I'm sorry, it's not like he came back and beat Ilya, or he came back and beat, I can't think of any other featherweights because featherweights kind of, you know, but seriously though, like he came back, he beat a guy like Diego who a lot of people did say he was going to lose to. So, you know, you can't just backpedal and say, no, actually, Diego is poop and he was never good. No, Diego is good. It's just Volk is just still phenomenal, even slightly past his prime. So that's why he deserves to be right around the top 5, but not inside the top 5, just like John Jones is inside Dana White's. Number 5, I have Dricus du Plessis, another name that I was just considering putting like even in the top 3. But the inactivity is just a little bit like, not inactivity. I mean, his last fight was in February, to be fair, but it's like, you know, look, Sean Strickland twice, good wins. You know, the first time it was a little bit too close for me to say it was a great dominant win. The second time, though, was very, very dominant, very dominant. But it was a bit undeserved. That's the thing, like, right? Like, Strickland didn't really deserve that second title shot. So it's like, You know, the Adesanya win, I think it's a good win. It's not aged the best, but I still think it's a good win, of course. I think it's a very good win. But he was still getting kind of pieced up by Adesanya at times. The Whittaker win, though, phenomenal. So, you know, it's a bit up and down. But, like, at the end of the day, he's undefeated in the UFC. He's got wins over Till, Brunson, Whittaker, Strickland twice, Adesanya. And some pretty dominant performances there as well. I mean, submitting Adesanya, no one's ever done that before. You know, piecing up Strickland for about 5 rounds. Outboxing Sean Strickland, the guy who's got the best defense, and he's piecing up Strickland. That's very impressive. You know, KOing Robert Whittaker, very impressive. So 1,000% he has to be in the top 5, but I just need a bit more like if he beats a Mavov, now we're talking top 4, top 3. If he beats Hamza, which is next, I mean, I just skipped over Hamza. I mean, if he beats Hamza first and then like a Mavov or something, bro, he's going to be like right there, knocking on that door. So 100% in the top 5, don't care. Now, number 4, Alexandre Pantoja. He's got to be. He's got to be, you know, of course in the top 5, but in that sort of top 4, I wanted to put him above Merab. I really did, but I do think, well, spoiler alert, by the way, Merab is, well, obviously, Merab is on this list. But, no, I wanted to put him, like, in the top 3, and we'll get to this with Merab, but I just couldn't put him above Merab because Merab's wins are too good and are better than Pantoja's by a little bit. But Pantoja is still number 4 because, I mean, he's getting, like, better, it seems. And he's beating these guys dominantly, submitting Kai Kara France, you know, doing what he did to Royval. He kind of shut down Royval a little bit, and yeah, he had a war with Moreno, but, you know, Steve Ercega was a bit close as well. But then Kaya Sakura submitted in like 2 rounds. So it's like, you know, he can be a bit up and down, but I do think recently he's been up, right? Like his last 2 wins are his most impressive of his whole career. So Pantoja has to 100% be within the top 4. The way he's doing it, who he's doing it to, right? The names aren't like insane, but like Kai Kara France, that's a good win. You know, Moreno, good win. Erceg, good win. I think those are good wins. They're not phenomenal wins, but consistency, he's got good activity. 1,000% he should be number 4. Now, number 3, of course, Merab. I kind of already spoiled it. I just think he's over Pantoja because he's not doing it as dominantly as Pantoja has done recently. But the thing is with Merab is that, well, actually, I might take that back because if you really look at Merab's wins, like, he clearly beat Aldo. he clearly beat Umar. He clearly beat like fucking Peter Yan, right? Henry Cejudo. He clearly beat those guys. Whereas, I say clearly like that, clearly, right? Whereas Pantoja, it's like, all right, well, the Usyk fight was a bit too close. This fight was a bit, and yeah, Pantoja does have more title defenses than Merab, but again, Merab's resume is insane. But yeah, I just think Merab is doing it a bit more clearly than Pantoja. Again, close-ish fight with Usyk, close-ish fight with Moreno. Merab, he's just dominating these guys. So, to me, his resume, right? Aldo, fucking Umar, fucking Peter Yan, fucking Cejudo, O'Malley twice. It's just, the resume is insane. It's such a, even Marias, is it Marlon Marias or Malcolm? What's his name? That bald freak? Marias something. Look, great wins. Phenomenal wins on his resume, bro. I'm sorry. He has to be within the top 3. I was even considering putting him number 2, but I'm not going to do that to, who is number 2. You guys already know who's number 2. But I wasn't going to do that to him, so I'm going to keep him at number 3. But I do think Merab is just, he's phenomenal right now. And again, it's a similar thing like what I said with Pantoja, where it seems like Merab is getting better. Like, he just submitted O'Malley, right? He freaking dominated Umar. I thought he clearly won that fight. I say dominated. It was like a clear win, but it was like a domination. But it was a clear win. All right, come on, guys. So, 100% in the top 3. Number 2, Ilia Topuria. I know. Psych. You guys thought I was going to put Ilia number 2. John Jones. No, I'm kidding. Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is number 2. Which means number 1 is Ilia. Now, I'm going to explain this, right? So, let's just break it down like this. Number 1 is Ilia. Number 2 is Islam. Here's why. Here's why, kids. I was considering putting Islam at number 1. Just because of, like, what he has done. But at the end of the day, I do count, like, the last couple of months and the last year, 2 years of... This is the 2025 pound-for-pound list. What has Ilia done in 2025? What has Islam done in 2025? Now, of course, that's a bit contradictory because there's guys like Usman on this list, and I'm considering, but he almost beat Hamzat in 2023. But I'm saying, like, if you look at just recent stuff, Islam Makhachev's last 2 wins, his last one was Renato Moicano, where it was like, it's Moicano, bro. I'm sorry, it's Moicano, who just lost to Beneil Dariush. And then before that, it was Poirier, who he took to like a... Bro, in the 5th round, 2 judges, I believe, had it 2-2. Like, what are we doing here? Before that, yes, he head kick KO'd Volkanovski. That was on short notice. Then before that, he had a razor-close fight with Volkanovski. Like, this is the problem. Ilia Topuria is not having razor-close fights with people. He's just dominating people. Look, I know it's not Islam's fault that he had to fight Moicano on short notice and Volk on short notice, but it's the reality. I know it's not his fault, but what do you want me to do about it? He's number 2 because this is just a reality. Ilia is number 1. He colded Charles Oliveira, which is one of Islam's best wins, and I know maybe you could say, but Islam beat Prime Charles. I mean, how far removed is Charles really from his prime? Let's just be honest here. Like, it's not like he fights any different. It's not like, well, the Charles that fought Ilia was like way slower and you could tell he wasn't really there. Bro, he looked the same. Like, it's not that far removed. Like, the Islam Charles fight was 2 years ago? 3? Like, it's not that far removed, right? So, and then Volkanovski, he colded with his bare hands, not with a head kick on short notice. All right, I know it was still a little bit short notice, but come on. And then Max Holloway, really? Flatline KOing people who like that? Those 3 guys, back to back to back. And then before that, you 50-45 Josh Emmett. It was more like a 50-42. But I know it's Josh Emmett, so no one counts that. But still, like, it's something. Because if you want to bring up, but Makhachev, look what he did to who? To Dan Hooker and Drew Dober? Like, come on. What are we doing here? So, I think Ilia is number 1 because I just think what he has done, his last couple of wins recently are more impressive, and what he has done to them is more impressive. Ilia would not have a war with Dustin Poirier. He'd KO him in a round. He would not have a war with fucking... Well, he didn't have a war with Volk. We saw how that went, right? So the Volkanovski win. He's beating these guys. Islam would take Max Holloway to a decision, in my opinion. Or he would take him to like the later rounds, like round 5 or 4, and then maybe sub him. Maybe. But even then, I think Holloway would probably, make it close and lose like maybe not a super close decision, but like a relatively close decision. So Ilya, he's colding people. He's the number one pound for pound guy. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe down below, become a member in the description, turn on the bell notifications, bro. And do you guys agree with my pound for pound list, or are you guys just going to shit on me for it? Either way, I don't mind it. Much love to you guys. God bless. See you guys next time. Peace.